talking about the Big 12. Does West Virginia belong in the Big 12? I said it from day one. No, I don't think West Virginia should be in the Big 12. It doesn't make sense geographically. Our rivals are in the ACC. So for me, the best fit for West Virginia would be in the ACC. Okay, but that doesn't mean that Neil Brown can't have success at West Virginia. My point was the talent that we have had last year, in my opinion, should have been enough to at least get into the Big 12 championship. I know people believe in conspiracy theories, they'll never let West Virginia in the Big 12 championship. I don't really buy into that much, because if you go back last year, we beat Texas. If there was really a conspiracy, they would have figured out somehow how to keep that from happening. Yeah, there were some questionable calls, especially with the horns down, making a big deal out of it, throwing a flag, didn't make much sense. But in the end, West Virginia did win that game. The games that didn't make sense to me was Iowa State and Oklahoma State. I know those were both road games, and Iowa State actually looked pretty good last year, and we did have to go to Iowa State. But I'm just saying, purely based on talent, we should have never lost those ball games. That Oklahoma ball game proved that. I mean, we hung in there with Kyler Murray, and actually some bad calls. If it weren't for those, we might have won that game. We had the talent to beat Oklahoma in Morgantown last year. Didn't happen. So my main point about that was the previous coaching staff not being able to coach up the talent he did have. This is just my opinion. If you put Neil Brown in the talent situation that we had last year, I think we're in the Big 12 championship. I really do. The talent we had last year, we lost a lot of NFL talent, NFL first round talent. I said that in the previous video, but it's the truth. That offense was one of the best offenses we ever had at West Virginia. So it wasn't the conference, the Big 12 conference, that kept us out of the Big 12. It was coaching. I mean, it was. Now, do I think West Virginia should stay in the Big 12? Absolutely not. It makes zero sense. West Virginia needs to get in the ACC. You have rivalry with Pitt. Yes, we love to hate Pitt. We love to play Pitt. You have Syracuse, who is trying to start a rivalry with Clemson, and looks like it is happening, especially when Clemson has to go to the Dome. You also have Boston College. We've had some good games against Boston College. Virginia Tech. I miss that rivalry too. So I do agree that West Virginia shouldn't be in the Big 12, but as of right now, that's where we're at. All right, you just have to accept it. To me, the main point was the coaching upgrade. Yes, it does matter. I promise, it does matter. Dana Holgerson, he was a brilliant offensive mind. But I just think Neil Brown is better at coaching his players up on every single game. Under the previous coaching staff, we just had too many ups and downs. They would have some great games, but then you were like, did they even show up that next game? It's like that first game was so good that it took everything out of them, and they had nothing left. If you go back and watch Neil Brown, whenever he coached Troy, he had that team winning games. They should not have been winning. I've mentioned it before. They beat Nebraska. They beat LSU, and they came pretty close to beating Clemson in Clemson, and that was when Clemson was good. I mean, Clemson, there was some years where Clemson wasn't good, but they've been good the past decade or so, and Troy just about beat Clemson during this stretch of glory for Clemson. They are in a stretch of glory right now, and Troy almost beat them. So he knows how to get his players up for every single game. Just like Rich Rod, his first year at Troy. 4 wins, but then 10 wins, 11 wins, 10 wins. You can't really argue with that, and we're talking about Troy here. So I'm pretty sure West Virginia can get better talent than Troy. The previous coaching staff was more focused on transfers, and yes, that works to a certain extent, but for transfers, you only get them for 1 or 2 years, and then you got to start all over again. And you got to coach them up every single game. You can't have a letdown. So that was my main point, was the coaching difference. This year, like I said, we just got to grit and bear. It's not going to be a good season. I expect us to finish well below 500, bottom of the Big 12. Kansas losing to Coastal Carolina gives me hope that we can get another win over them. So there's a bright spot. But it's just going to be one of those rebuilding years. Got to get through it. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. This coach is going to get us there. We will be competing for the Big 12 championship. And we will be going to New Year's Bowls. And who knows, maybe we'll even jump into the conversation of playoff predictions. Could happen. It happened before. We've been 1 or 2 games away from, the national championship. So it's been proven that West Virginia can get there. You just have to have the right pieces and the right coach. And I think we have the right coach who will get the right pieces. So hang in there. Coach Neil Brown, great hire, home run, much better than Holgorsen. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's go Mountaineers!